Hi guys, welcome to a new game called Pluviophile. It's a walking simulator. There's only 3 levels to it. As rain falls equally on the just and the unjust, do not burden your heart with judgements, but rain your kindness equally on all. Gautama Buddha. Now Buddha quoted actually just the Bible. There's a scripture in the Bible that pretty much says the same thing. So as you see birds in the sky. We're in the woods. It's pretty much a dictated walkthrough if you try to go offside, bang. I've turned the sound of the music down because the music will absolutely blow you away. Evidently we've got to follow the path that's been well trodden on. And the protagonist who we're taking control of is the one who has come down this path many times before. Now the developer likes to create walking simulators that have interesting environments. That's what he commercially advertises. There's not really much to his games, and this is one of them. You just pick up the lights and go onto the pedestals and activate the pedestals, and you'll get snippets of a free domain poem. So this is the guy. I'm just going to cut to this. This is Julius Cawein. This is the guy that wrote the poem that we're going to get snippets of. He's an American poet. He died in 1914, pretty young. He wasn't really aged old. And he wrote over 1,500. His father was a herbalist and medical man, so he grew up loving nature, and he wrote a lot of poems, mainly about nature. And this is one of them. We're going to get snippets of this poem in this game. Now this game was made by this guy, Tognuc Bodur. He's from Istanbul, Turkey. This is what he looks like, and basically so this is Tognuc Bodur. He's a graphic designer, been making since 2014, likes to make explorational atmospheric environments with emotional stories sometimes. There's no narration in the story that we're about to see. But what you'll find is he's put out 20 games since 2014. So his games go Pluviophile, when it's on sale, 75 cents here in Australia. So that gives you some idea. And these are what he does. Some of the look, I'm not convinced that you'll see what I mean. So we're going to go to pedestal. We're going to activate the first part of the poem. When on the leaves the rain persists and every gust brings showers down, when all the woodland smokes with mist, I take the old road out of town into the hills through which it twists. So here is a protagonist, remembering Cawein wrote about this protagonist who likes to go through the woods, especially when it rains. We're going to see. I thought I saw a car then. And likes to follow this trek through the woods. Now, spoiler, this is not real woods. So the pathway that was blocking us is now gone since it evaporated, which wouldn't happen if it was real woods. And there wouldn't be pedestals where you pick up lights and activate the pedestal. So evidently we're not in real woods. So we're going to just go drop down here. So imagine he loves nature so much, and he's coming to the end of his life, really. We'll see that soon. And basically, I gave this poem to a friend of mine and asked his thoughts, and he just thought it was a poem of nature. He didn't see any deep metaphor in there. So maybe Tognuc Bodur is visualizing, trying to show that there is a deeper meaning behind the poem. So we'll activate the second part of this poem. I find the vale where catnip grows, where boneset blooms with moisture bowed. The vale through which the Red Creek flows, turbid with hill-washed day and loud, as some wild horn a hunter blows. Now you see how that's changed red. The red creek, the wild hunter blows. They're sort of metaphors that death kind of thing, you know. So death approaching, hunting, red creek. Yes, there is a true red creek, but with poetry, a lot of poets wrote about real things, but they had deeper meaning. We never really find out what is cause of the protagonist's death. Neither do we see anything really about the guy's life. I mean, out of everything this guy's done, we only see him treading through the same forest in the rain that he's done many times in his real life beforehand. And I guess the fact that we don't see anything about his life, it's either, as I'm trying to point out, it's either one, just a dodgy developer, because look, this is a bought landscape, this is an asset landscape, and all he's done is drag and dropped. It's the Unreal Engine, I think, that made this, and he's just dragged and dropped certain assets in certain various locations like this. Ultimately, it just becomes a sort of like a key and door puzzle, key and lock puzzle. Go find the key, go find the door, go find the light, go find the pedestal. It's dressed up to be that, and it could be so much more. There's no real in-depth backstory here. There's no nothing you can interact with other than picking up wisps of light and going to pedestals. So the pedestals here. So let's look at the next poem. Around the root the beetle glides, a living beryl, and the ant, large, agate red, a garnet slides. Beneath the rock in every plant is root, for some frail thing that hides. Again, a frail thing that hides. The living thing hides. Now, some people might not get that. They might just think, no, this is just a poem about nature. Soon you won't be able to disagree with me. You'll see some creepy things well, not really creepy. You'll see some things in chapter 2 anyway. Basically, it's just him showing that there is more to the poem than just a natural expression. At some point in life, we are always no matter who we are, we're all played with this point where we will at some point have to accept again, we're dictated where we move, accept the end of the path, the calling, whatever you say, the ability to move on, or more precisely, the you'll have to accept the peace to be able to just finish with the journey that you're on, the walk. Would be more precise. There's actually a hive in the tree. If you look precisely in that, you'll see that better in the next poem. As I said, we only get snippets of the poem. We don't get the whole entire poem. We only get the ones that have double meaning for death. So, look, and this is the question. Did the developer have this in mind, or is he just buying an asset and hang on, the poem about to go. So there's the hive. Like knots against trunks of trees, the lichen-coloured moths are pressed and wedged in hollow blooms. The bees seem dots of pollen in its nest. The wasps have crawled and lies at ease. So they're going to sleep. The bees become... Maybe that's why they're going to sleep. The bees are resting, or when it rains. And you'll notice that it's been raining all the way through this. In a moment it will stop raining, which is interesting because things change a little bit after it rains. To move faster, also I didn't explain, you just got to press the shift button once. Don't keep it held down. There was a pedestal. I haven't picked up the light yet. Where's the light? You just need to press shift and movement. It doesn't move really fast again. It's just, if you were to zip around this, you'd get the game done in like 10 minutes. So I'm not sure how long we're going to take. But anyway. So my gripes is the guy's put out 20 since 2014. That's a huge number. And a lot of them have positive reviews, but that's because when you read the positive reviews, it's silly trading cards and achievements hunters that give these games ridiculous reviews. The locust harsh that sharply saws the silence of the summer noon, the cat yed that thinly draws its fine file over the bars of the moon, and grasshopper that drills each power, I think is it. So achievement hunters often just say, oh, this was very pretty. Look, it's 75 cents, so I'm not going to give it a negative review. There is some thought. I just thought, he's done this so many times. Like, is he trying to, and this is what I'm concerned of, is he knows how to buy an asset landscape and just quickly put all these assets around. Is there really any big thought into this, or is he just buying an asset landscape and then trying to cater some quick, silly story to, you know, is there any real genuine thoughts behind these games? I'm torn. I'm really torn. This is my first introduction to this developer, and I would have to, I would really have to play his whole entire category to get a good sense of him. I can't get a good judge of character based on one game. I can't see that this would have taken him long to create at all. Having said that, the game's flawless. I spent an hour, 2 hours trying to find a bug where I could jump over a wall and get on. Couldn't get it. Couldn't get one. I spent 2 hours trying to find a bug in the game. He's done his own work there. My gripes is there's just not a lot of depth here. And maybe that's what he was aiming for. But is he trying to produce these walking simulators because he wants to create a Dear Esther? Is he trying to create the next best walking simulator like Gone Home? Or is he just, is the obsession of money got the better of him and it's not about making good games anymore? Is it just about putting out paper-thin content in order to please achievement hunters and trading card addicts, and just flaunt the system? Or is he generally trying to, you know, is he, and he's used a lot of freeware, like this poem is free domain. The mantis, long-clawed, furtive, lean, fierce feline of the insect hordes and dragonfly, gauze winged and green, beneath the wild grapes, leaves and gourds, have housed themselves and rest unseen. So some of the poem, I'm not really. What really does suck is you don't get to see the dragonflies. They're only in the poem. This is where the dragonflies were, but you don't really get to see them. And you don't get to see the deers or touch the deers or go up to the deers. They just run past you really fast. And there's. So here we get a genuine, real sensation that we're not in a real forest, we're in a mental representation of the forest. Crossing restricted, bad things ahead. And you'll notice that it's turned peaceful and we've turned away from that. There's no rain anymore. But this point in time, and we're looping, we're going back to where we came. That was short-lived. As you can see, the rain has started to come back. It's now getting worse. So it was a very, very short period in time there. And once we drop down, we've really done a loop. It's one big map. And on the right there, that's where we were. Just quickly show you. And now, as a player, we surely understand that something's amiss here. You have been here before, why don't you try somewhere else? I think this poem... Yeah, so the poem is exactly the same as the one that we had last time. But a new area has opened up and we need to travel down that path. So there's 5 achievements with this game as well. I really don't understand the obsession with trading cards and achievement hunting. So what? The only thing I like about achievements is the achievements can help you get 100% out of a game. I like that part. The butterfly and forest bird are huddled on the same gnarled bough, from which, like some rain-vowed word, that dampness hoarsely utters now, the tree toads... I couldn't read the last one. But you'll notice the frog, the croaking. So we're getting closer to death. Here. Again. Look, my mum has dementia and she doesn't remember a lot, but it's very, very basic stuff. Like she won't even remember her whole entire life or something. It'll be like, oh yeah, I remember going to this place when I was a kid. So, in some respects, yeah, this sort of stuff does happen, like when someone's coming to the end of life, they just remember silly stuff like this, where I went for a walk. I remember that walk. And they won't have, like in some art games, you'll see them have various objects while they go on that walk. It doesn't really happen like that one. Okay, so that was the second chapter. Now we automatically go to the third and final chapter. So, you tell me what you think about this. Is it a developer that is actually trying to produce something good? Or is he just someone buying asset maps and trying to put out a quick product in order to make money? Is money the obsession here, or is he generally trying to produce something? maybe there's a market here and I'm just not seeing it. As I said, my problem is that it's not really that deep. I think narration, other stuff could have been put into it. So you just got to go down, pick it up, and then go all the way back. As we go back through this little valley ridge, you'll notice that it's very foggy here now. So here you'll notice there's nothing crossing that top part. And look, I think I passed this game. I think it took me 25 minutes, somewhere around that, to pass the game quickly. So it's not really that hard. I've spent a lot of time on it just so I can review it, as promised to a friend. I crouch and listen, and again the woods are filled with phantom forms, with shapes grotesque in mystic train, that rise and reach to me cool arms of mist, the wandering wraiths of rain. So you see the wraiths, the word phantom. So I guess he knows it's coming. And at some point, and this is what I've said, at some point we all face the same thing where we have to accept the inevitable, I guess. And this is what the poem, and the protagonist isn't mad. He's finding peace at that. Like he finds peace with the rain. He's at peace, and I guess people. I ask people, do you want to live forever? And they say no. And I ask people, do you want to live longer? And they say yes. People just get tired. They get exhausted. And at some point, you see people give up. They're happy for it to finish. And this is what we're witnessing here. And I feel that this next part is about the narcotics that he's about to have, the drugs in his system. See the magic mushrooms and that, and now he's envisioning this bird. I see them come, fantastic, fair, chill, mushroom-coloured. Sky and earth grow ghostly with their floating hair and trailing limbs that have their birth in wetness fungi of the air. And is the developer, by not making it deep, is it all about that journey? Because if he was to put a lot of extra story about what's happened to the protagonist, you know, what his family, it becomes less and less about that accepting the inevitable, and you're happy to accept the inevitable. So is it the developer controlling the message by keeping it simplistic, or is this game just simply the developer just, it's all about making money? Right, there's a trap there, it's an asset, there's nothing in it. Another thing, there is a box here, a crate, and you'll find the same crate, same asset inside the house that we're about to go. It's got the same name, same title, same card, same everything. There's nothing significant about the crate. The crate is an asset, and it's just, the developers just pumped it in twice, which cheapens this whole thing. But as I said, 95% I think have it on a positive rating. It's not the best walking simulator. There's nothing really deep and meaningful. Here we have a house. So a voice just said, do you feel it? There's some Latin, looks like the Bible. It's in Latin. But again, no real backstory. Is this the protagonist? That's the crate I was talking about. Yanrith. Number 3, H4, there's 5,000 on there. There's not really a lot here. Couldn't he at least put a book with something in it? And if you were to research the poem itself about Julius Cawein, there's not really much written about it. And I asked the developer, I haven't got a reply. I said to the developer, out of the 1,500 poems that the guy wrote, why did you choose this one? O wraiths of rain, O ghosts of mist, still fold me, hold me, and pursue. Still let my lips by yours be kissed, to still draw me with your hands of dew. Until the tryst, I think it is. And then you go, the woman in white, you go up to her calling, you never see her, she doesn't answer. You just accept. And you embrace. You head towards the light. And you accept that your journey on this earth has finished. Now you sleep. Rain in the Woods, written by Julius Cawein. Created by Tognuc Bodur. You know, music, I wasn't really keen on the music. These are the testers. And all those used assets, as you can see. Until next time, guys. Bye for now.